In Flanders fields the poppies blow.
Between the crosses, row on row, that mark our place.
And in the sky, the larks, still bravely singing, fly scarce heard amid the guns below.
We are the dead. Short days ago, we lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow.
Loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders fields. Take up our quarrel with the foe.
To you from failing hands we throw the torch. Be yours to hold it high.
If ye break faith with us who die,
we shall not sleep, though poppies grow in Flanders fields.
The War Memorial represents the soldiers who fought against tyranny, so generations can enjoy freedom.
Unto you, O God, we praise and thanksgiving for every courageous deed of our sailors, soldiers and Air Force, and for all unselfish service.
Every year for the past 100 years, we remember those soldiers who died for our freedom through the touchstones of our past.
When you go home, tell them of us and say, for your tomorrows, we gave our today.
Communities across the land raised money for war memorials because nearly all the soldiers in World War I were buried in Flanders Field, Belgium, and other places overseas. The War Memorial was located in Fleet Road, outside the Station Hotel. It was moved to the back of the library around the 1970s, and finally in 1986 it was moved to its current location on Gurkha Square. The Town Council is proud of its responsibility and its role as custodian of this War Memorial.
Many of the British soldiers who landed in Normandy on D-Day were going into action for the very first time under gunfire and shell fire from the Germans. And as they fought their way off the beaches, there were some horrific casualties. And sadly, Lieutenant Withers was one of them. So the real importance of the connection between the war graves and Fleet War Memorial is that in the First and Second World War, unlike today, Britain did not repatriate the servicemen who died overseas. They were initially buried where they fell. However, most of the families of these servicemen had no prospect of ever going to visit one of these cemeteries around the world. So Fleet War Memorial is the symbol of their loved one buried somewhere else.
All the names on our War Memorial they're in alphabetical order. It's because we commemorate them, we remember them equally, no matter what their rank was, no matter what their gender was, no matter which regiment they served and what their medals happened to be. But there are always a few names that jump out at you when you look at these memorials. And in this case, my eye's drawn to Lieutenant General Gott here, who was a three-star general who was killed in North Africa in August 1941. The aircraft he was travelling in was shot down by enemy fighters while he was on his way to take over command of the 8th Army in North Africa. And because he sadly died, the 8th Army was actually passed to one General Montgomery, who became one of our most distinguished generals in the advance through Europe and the ultimate conclusion of the war. For 100 years, the Legion has been providing a service to our members. And here in Fleet, we're one of the oldest branches. We formed just a few weeks after the Royal British Legion was formed. And our roles are very simple. We provide fundraising for servicemen and women and their families who might have fallen on hard times or need some other support. And we set up a poppy appeal every year, and all that money goes to help them. The War Memorial is so important to the community. Focus for community commemoration of those that have been lost from Fleet in the past. We're also commemorating in a national sense for all of those who have been in the United Kingdom's armed forces over the years and have fought or otherwise served their country in conflict.